Most of the state line's drinking water comes from below our feet, but as more people call northern Illinois home, underground water levels drop. WIFR's Nathaniel Langley finds out how Boone County plans to protect the area's crucial resource.
It's a bigger picture than just Boone County, but this community needs to know.
Boone County and the state line are home to healthy aquifers, where underground water recharges fast enough so the water in our tap flows. But the area's water level is down hundreds of feet, prompting researchers to go up into the air to assess the situation.
You're going to get a picture of the Earth down to 1,000 feet. That's just like an MRI of the ground.
One water resource in Boone County dependent on a healthy aquifer is the Kishwaukee River here, rated as a high-quality stream by the Illinois Department of Natural Resources.
If everybody's pulling water from the same source, it becomes even more important. Where does the recharge come from?
We can actually see declining groundwater reserves despite that overall wetter climate.
Trent Ford says climate change brings Illinois more rain than ever. That leads to flooding, like some portions of the region felt this summer. The water has no place to go except into the Rock River.
Which, of course, is going to go to the Mississippi, out into the Gulf. That water is gone, which means it doesn't permeate into the groundwater reserves.
This map from the Illinois State Water Survey shows development-heavy Joliet with the lowest water levels. Ford believes conservation can fix that.
Making sure we're using water in an efficient and sustainable way so that we can allow those groundwater reserves to recharge.
It'll be decades before solutions can be implemented, but anyone can help with better land management.
And that absorption doesn't just remove that water from flooding, but it also gets it down into the soil.
In Boone County, Nathaniel Langley, WIFR News.
The Boone County study starts in the spring. Researchers hope to bring students into the process by launching a special helicopter at a local school.